I'm going to take a look at this Apple iPad Smart Folio case. Now this is a Smart Folio case, not a smart cover. So you can't get a smart cover for the iPad Air 4 or the iPad Pro 11. And you'll find out why in one of my other videos, but spoiler, it's down to the magnets down the side of the device. But the lightest case that you can get right now is the Smart Folio. Now this comes in at about 180 grams. Compared to the smart cover, that I've got for my iPad Air 2, which looks like that. It's just a front piece that goes over the front of your screen. That's actually weighing in at 80 grams. So this adds 100 grams to the overall weight of the device. So let's have a look. Okay, so the whole thing feels just like the smart cover, apart from bit of cardboard in the middle there, apart from that it's both it has two sides, so you've got one piece for the front and one for the back. Now it doesn't clip in like some cases, so I've looked at some cheaper cases like the one from Pro Case, and that has a plastic back to it and you clip the iPad into it. Now this is magnetic, so there'll be a strip of magnets at the top and the bottom, and then the iPad clips in like that. But it is really thin. Okay, so we'll take an iPad Air 4 and you place it down and it's in place now with the magnets. So if we tip it, you can see that that's not coming out easily. If I pull there, it will part with the backing, but you can wobble it around there and give it a shake and that doesn't come out. So that is going to stay. Obviously you can stick it into the trifold stand. That is weaker than the smart cover was. I'm not pulling hard here. If I just push down very gently, it will come out of form. Now I found that with the cheap cases as well. So all of them are very similar. It's not the strongest of magnets, and that's my criticism with this, apart from the price, which is about £80, which I think is really expensive. Now I managed to get this for 70, but that's still a lot compared to the cheap cases like this Pro Case. So the Pro Case that I was talking about before, where you clip it in into the plastic back, it does provide all-round protection, but at the cost of extra weight. So that is 240 grams. So that's 60 grams heavier than the Smart Folio. So if you're not too worried about the weight, then this one for about £12 is pretty decent. And it does do the trifold design on the stand. And it stays in position, similar amount of weight to make it unfurl. But it is cheap. But this one is really slick. So let's have a look at the smart cover in a bit more detail. So you can see it doesn't provide any protection for the edges, but it is really thin. Yeah, it's just in focus there. So it is really thin. Fits it really well. I mean, look, the edges are spot on. Obviously, it doesn't obstruct the Touch ID, which is now in the power button. And you can also mount your Apple Pencil on the side if you have one, using the magnetic contact. No obstruction to any of the ports, obviously, but like I say, it doesn't provide any protection to the edges. If you're not too bothered, then that's all right. Opening the cover will activate and deactivate, as you would expect. And that's the same on the Pro Case. Around the back, we've got a cutout for the camera, and as you can see, that allows it to be put down and not impact the camera at all on a work surface. Just deep enough. So the whole thing doesn't feel that thick, but let's check how thick it is. So I'll take these calipers, which are from AliExpress. I've got a review of these if you're interested. They're very cheap. So that's 1.8 mils thick. So that's pretty thin. If we look at the Pro Case, do a similar check, it does feel thicker, but let's see how much. and that's around 2.1 mils thick. So it is does add more heft to the whole device, especially when you're talking the plastic all over the back here. That extra 60 grams on top of everything else does make it feel a lot heavier. In general, compared to the iPad Air 2 with the smart cover, you're talking it's about 120 grams heavier in total, including the actual iPad and the smart cover itself, the Smart Folio case itself. So yeah, if you are thinking that this is going to be really similar to the iPad Air 2 in terms of weight, just bear that in mind, because it isn't quite. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments if you found a case that's even lighter than this. I'm really interested to find a smart cover replacement that is super light and does a good job of protecting the front. Not so bothered about the back. So let me know if there are other options out there. Anyway, thanks for watching.